What is up guys? Welcome back to my channel.
Me too.
No vlog this week, but today we're gonna make some food, do a mukbang, and talk about my journey to becoming a dentist. I was supposed to work out today, but I got off really late. I got off at like 6:40, and I usually get off a little bit before 6. So no working out, no gym. We're gonna go straight to dinner because I hate eating late, and I'm just gonna talk about my journey to becoming a dentist, getting into dental school, all the good stuff. But first, let's make some food. This has been kind of trending in Korea. It's finally here in America. It's basically stir-fried shin ramen. If you're a ramen fanatic like me, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Shin ramen, the most popular and well-known Korean ramen in the world. I also have some chicken breast diced up for that extra protein. Because why? Summer is in 2 months. You want to slightly undercook it and leave just a little bit of water in there because you're about to stir fry the shit out of it. Yeah. Look at that. Okay, so where should I start? So this is like a very Korean way. You use the lid as a plate, as a bowl, to eat ramen, any sort of noodles, any sort of instant noodles. It's gonna be spicy. Chicken is nice and juicy, perfectly cooked. Try a little bit of the noodles. Oh yeah, the flavor is immaculate, outstanding. But anyways, I moved to the States in 2005 when I was in middle school. I started middle school here, knew some English, but not too much. And did okay in school, not great, was in ESL for 2 years. And then high school, it's getting hotter. Also didn't do amazing, got decent grades. My class rank was 50 something out of 1300. Hold on paper, I know that looks amazing. That's almost top 5%. But you need to realize about 1,200 of them didn't really try. They all took regular classes, didn't really care about going to a prestigious colleges. So I really was in competition against about 100 of them. And there were a lot of smart people in my high school. I never thought I was really smart in high school. Did I think I was dumb? No. By the way, look at that. So I have an older brother, obviously up to college, I lived with him. He's always been the smart kid in the house. He always had the better grades. My parents basically wanted me to look up to him as a role model because he was just smart, man. Almost like a nerd, except I think he had more friends than me too because he was cool. I remember one time in physics, he sold physics homework for money and he got in trouble for that. That's like some crazy story that you only see in movies, right? But anyway, so I was always being compared. You know how it is living with Asian parents. He went to an Ivy League school. I didn't. I went to mid-tier private school and I barely got in. I remember I got waitlisted and then got off the waitlist. To those of you wondering, I went to Emory University. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I went to college. As being the baby of the family, the youngest kid of the family, I did look up to my brother a lot. I remember before college, our desks were right next to each other. So every time I had a question about anything homework related or anything, I would just lean over like this and ask him. So that first year that he was gone, it was a big change because I had to do everything on my own, become independent. I picked up hobbies after him. He started skateboarding, so I started skateboarding. He started working out, so I started working out. You know, typical like little brother just following older brother's footsteps. So going into college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I took like a little bit of science classes, some business classes here and there. Even though my brother studied engineering, he knew he wanted to go into finance because he wanted to make a lot of money. He wanted to be rich. I figured that's what I wanted to do as well. So started taking some business classes, but I realized I really didn't enjoy it. I didn't even get good grades from these business courses. And to be honest, I followed my brother's footsteps all my life, and I was 19, barely 20 at that time. I wanted to get out of my comfort zone and do my own thing. So I started researching. What can I do? What is something that I would enjoy doing? What can I see myself doing for the rest of my life until retirement? Talked to a lot of mentors. Nothing really sparked my interest until my mom told me, why don't you look into dentistry? By the way, to those haters who think all dentists are med school rejects, I never, ever thought about going to med school. Because you gotta think of all the opportunity costs. I didn't like school. Didn't want to go to school for at least 6-8 years, right? After college. And being a doctor comes with a lot of responsibilities, and I didn't want that much responsibilities. So my mother told me to look into dentistry. So I did. The reason why she told me to look into the dentistry was because she thought it would suit and fit my personality pretty well. So I looked into it, even spoke to my dentist about it, and he told me it was not hard to become a dentist. False alarm. I think he was just smart. And what I liked about it was that it involves a lot of art, hand skills. My brother basically has been better than me at everything growing up, except for art, drawing, painting. I've always been a little bit more talented at that. I'm not great, but definitely better than average. So, sorry. I like the artistic aspect of dentistry. Also, the fact that you get to be your own boss. That leadership role, everyone knows dentists make pretty decent money. More importantly though, the work-life balance. My dentist really emphasized that point. He's able to spend time with his kids, go on vacation, pursue his hobbies. So at this point, I'm pursuing a little bit of passion, but I'm also being pragmatic and looking into a career that's realistic for me. After talking to him and thinking about it for a few days, I decided to go pre-dental completely, fully. And I think that was like beginning of sophomore year, maybe end of freshman year. I told myself, I'm going to stop following my brother's footsteps. I need to do my own thing. It's my life. Ever since then, I started taking more science classes. I was a little hopeless at first because I had a 3.1 after the first semester in college. And that is because biology 101, I got a C. So I lost some hope, but I knew it was still early in my college career to really redeem myself. So I just started taking a bunch of science courses. I became obsessed with it. I became obsessed with the process of applying to dental school. I took at least one more class than everyone else. Really try to play the game right and boost my GPA up. Extracurriculars, almost impeccable. At one point, I was the president of a volunteer trip organization called Global Brigades. Pre-dentals, you should look into that. It's a great program. So I led a group of students to Honduras and volunteer. Also, I was the president of our pre-dental organization. So I brought my GPA up. My overall GPA was about 3.55, and my science GPA was 3.1 or 3.2, which wasn't great. Clearly, GPA was my weakness, so I knew I had to do well on the dental admission test, also known as DAT. Went on Student Doctor Forum a lot and looked at what people did to get in. A lot of them spent the entire summer studying for this test, and I really did not want to give up my summer for this big exam. So I decided to try to cram everything into about 3 weeks and take it the winter of my junior year instead of the summer of my junior year. Worked out perfectly because that's when my parents had moved to Arizona and I didn't know a single soul in Arizona. All my friends were back in Texas. So winter break, when I went to Arizona, I told my mom, this important exam I have coming up. Easily the most important exam of my life. I need your help. I need you to cook for me, do laundry for me, because I'm going to take this like a full-time job, except I'm going to work on the weekends too. So for about 3 weeks, I woke up at 8 or 7, studied till I was 6, still worked out, ate good because what's better than mom's homemade food, right? Didn't take a day off. I had like a study schedule and I followed it. Never cheated. The day before I flew back to college, I took the test. My goal was minimum 22 academic average, and I was really aiming for 23. I ended up getting a 21. Was I a little bit relieved and pissed at the same time? Yes, because 21 I knew was still good enough to get in, but not amazing. I wanted at least a 22, like I said. But I was just so relieved I was done. I still remember when I was taking the test, the first section is biology, and you guys know biology is my weakness. As I was going through the first section, I was livid. I didn't know a lot of the questions. I wanted to walk out. I legit thought about it, but I remained calm, got through the test, did a lot better in chemistry, general chemistry and organic chemistry. So yeah, I was pretty happy with my academic average, my score, and my mom was too. And I flew back to college happily and relieved. I applied that following spring. I applied to a lot of schools, like 15 schools. There's 3 in Texas, now 4. Bunch out of state. Spent thousands of dollars because they have the primary application, the supplemental application, secondary application that cost more money. Got a lot of interviews. I truly do think I did look pretty good on paper. And December 1st came, I got accepted to my number 1 choice, which was Baylor, Texas University College of Dentistry. And I also got accepted to several other ones, but I really couldn't care less. That following semester, I took 1 class, had a part-time job, had a girlfriend briefly, which didn't work out, obviously, and just party. And that summer, after graduation, I went to Honduras, through Global Brigades 1 last time and volunteered. By the way, I do want to go back, but now as a dentist, because I can do more than just brushing and cleaning and assisting. I can be the fucking doctor, the dentist that goes and actually first-handedly helps out. The rest of the summer, I was in Korea clubbing every weekend, trying to get laid. Not gonna lie to you, I tried, but it didn't happen. Basically, wasted money every weekend on alcohol and bottle service. Then I went to dental school. I matriculated. That was 4 years, probably one of the worst 4 years of my life in terms of stress. Dental school was really tough, especially first year. I told you guys, in high school, I thought I was maybe a little above average. And then in college, I felt pretty dumb. There were a lot of bright, smart students. And then in dental school, I didn't know it was possible, but I felt even dumber. I was like, these guys are smart. So first year was another wake-up call. A lot of classes, a lot of grades. And then second year was a little more enjoyable because there was more lab work, the artistic aspect of dentistry. Third year, we started seeing some patients that helped me keep going, because that year is when you're finally achieving and doing what you've dreamed of, seeing patients and being their dentist. About halfway through 4th year, I realized I was more passionate with the idea of getting accepted to dental school and becoming a dentist. That idea is what I was passionate about. I realized I'm not actually passionate with the job, the dentistry. It is manual labor on steroids. It takes a lot of work, emotionally draining, physically draining. Now, I don't want to just talk about the negative aspects. There's also, the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, and that's why I'm still in this field. But there's a lot more negative to dentistry than I thought. And that is exactly why when pre-dentals come to me for advice, I tell them to really shadow. Shadowing, not just to improve your application, but to figure out if this is what you really want to do. I didn't do that enough. But again, I'm going to say it one more time, the positives outweigh the negatives. Maybe I'll make a separate video for that. So, graduated in 2019, been working for almost 3 years now. How I feel about dentistry, it's the same. I truly don't believe I'm passionate. If I was passionate about it, I'll be constantly taking continuing education courses to learn new techniques, reading about new materials that's coming out. But I don't do that. Just like any jobs, I have good days and bad days. At a very low point in my career, I've never told anyone this, but the saying, the rumor, maybe it wasn't a rumor, maybe it was a true stat that dentists have the highest suicide rate, kind of started making sense to me. But I am happier now, maybe because I've become desensitized to the stress. I don't get as angry anymore at work. I really try to calm myself down, try to tell myself it's a bad moment, not a bad life. And some good days, I fucking love dentistry. How patients make me feel and how I can make patients feel. So vice versa is one of the greatest feelings in the world. Unbeatable. Better than sex. So here I am, 3 years out. I do have plans of opening up my own, to be honest. I just don't know where to start. And I'm not exactly sure if Dallas is where I want to settle. If you open up your own, you're kind of stuck there. So that's it, guys. I am almost done with the food. This is spicy, but definitely less spicy than the buldak-bokkeumyeon. My journey to becoming a dentist, it's not that I was passionate about teeth or anything like that. It was just a realistic, pragmatic option. And my parents supported it, so that helped. It always helps if your parents approve what you want to do for a living. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And that's it for this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Going to Korea in less than a week. Look out for the vlogs, guys. It's coming. And as always, I will see you guys next time.